welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be seeing if we are compatible or not with each other. So I saw a couple people do this, and I guess I'm going to pick like 4 different tests that we'll try. I'm not sure if I'm going to find the right test because I was looking up the color quiz and there's like so many different ones. So the test we're going to take is the 16 personalities test, the Enneagram personality test, I might have said that wrong, the love language test, and then the color test. And we're just going to take it on our own, and then we're going to compare and see our results and share them, and then see if we're like the same, if we're different, if it says anything about how you are in relationships. Like, I have no idea what the results look like and what it tells you, but I think let's start with the 16 personalities test. Does that sound good to you?
Yes, it does, Miss Mikayla.
I'm gonna take the test. Okay, so I just finished my test, and then we're gonna have Logan take it, but I got the same results as what I've gotten before. So this is what I got. I got the consul. So now we'll do Logan's test, and then we'll go more into what that means. And this is Logan's results. So now we're gonna go and compare each other's. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. Logan is 59% introverted, 41% extroverted, and I am 63% extroverted and 37% introverted. Okay, we're gonna keep going through the results and just tell you. So, do you think that's true? Do you think you are more introverted? Do you like extroverted?
Is an introvert wants to be alone and extrovert wants to go out and be with people?
Kind of. Like, introverts like quiet spaces. They like being home. They aren't ones that like to go out and meet new people, and extroverts are like, yeah, I want to go out and hang out, and I'd rather be with people, I'd rather go out of the house and stuff like that.
I think I'm more extrovert, honestly.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I think you are extroverted with people you know, but you're never one like at school events when we'd go to it. Like, I'd like go up and kind of like talk to new people and stuff, and you're always one that's like more not willing to talk to new people and stuff. So I would say your percentages are probably accurate. I don't know, maybe more just on the 50-50 line. But I was surprised by mine because as time's gone on, I think I've become more introverted.
Yep.
I used to be so much more extroverted, and now I'm like, I just want to stay home. I just want to like hang out with a couple people. But when I do go out, like, I love it and I like thrive, but I usually tend to just enjoy being at home. But I do hate being alone. I hate it. So that's where like the extrovert comes in, where like I don't like spending time alone. Like, all my hobbies, I'm like, let's do it with people. So I just found out I like doing like YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff, but I like doing it with Logan. So everything I like to do with people.
She did it by herself, she'd be like, lonely, I'm so alone.
Okay, then energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. So it says I am more observant.
A lot more observant.
And Logan's more observant than intuitive. So you...
It's almost on the 50-50 line again.
Watch people. Yeah, Logan's is kind of close, but yours is still more observant. Then with thinking versus feeling, Logan is 79% thinking. And I am 75% feelings. So you're a lot more mental and I'm a lot more emotional.
This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. You got 82% on judging. She's judgmental, guys.
That's not what it means.
I don't know what it means.
I'm not exactly sure either. It's how we approach work, planning, and decision making. So I have a more like judging, like this or that attitude. I'm not sure exactly what that one means.
Mine's prospecting. I'm Prospector Pete, Stinky Pete.
And then you're 82% assertive, and I am 74% turbulent. So if you look at this, like our first ones, we're opposite on most of them. except for the observant one. Every single other one, we have opposites.
But that's good.
But opposites attract. So
I was gonna say puzzle pieces. If they weren't like the opposite pieces, they couldn't fit in together. Like if both were like that, then it's the wrong puzzle pieces. But if they're like that, then it's the right puzzle pieces.
And with me being 75% feeling and Logan 75 or whatever percent thinking, imagine someone who only had feelings and didn't like think things through with their like brain, and then someone who only thought these things and never took other people's feelings or stuff into consideration. So we balance each other out. So I think that's good. If we scroll down, we can read a little bit more about ourselves. Okay, so some of my strengths of this personality test is strong practical skills, strong sense of duty, very loyal, sensitive and warm, and good at connecting with others. My weaknesses are that I'm worried about social status. It's true. Inflexible, which is also true. If like someone asked me to hang out the day of, I'm like, I already had a plan. Like I can't just change things. Reluctant to innovate or improvise. I again just like things planned out, set in stone. Vulnerable to criticism. True. Often too needy. And too selfless.
I think our laptop's been listening to her and it's just like, oh, this is her.
Okay, so basically it kind of shows that I'm very loyal and good at like emotionally connecting to others and caring about them. But because I care a lot about people, I also care about what other people think of me, which I think is so true.
Very anxious.
Yeah, okay. And then Logan's strengths and weaknesses are... Logan, what are your strengths?
Optimistic and energetic.
That's true.
Creative and practical.
Also true. You do like lots of sewing and stuff.
Spontaneous and rational.
He is spontaneous.
Know how to prioritize.
A little bit.
Great in a crisis. And relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
okay.
Good. Stubborn.
Weaknesses.
Oh, stubborn. That's pretty good. Insensitive, that's true. Private and reserved, yeah. Easily bored, no.
I don't know if you're easily bored.
Just like commitment.
To an extent.
Yeah. Risky behavior.
That test is like spot on, honestly.
It's a little spooky.
So Logan is very like optimistic, has a lot of energy. But when he is very stubborn and also like insensitive to people, he doesn't always remember to take other people's feelings into consideration. And that's where I think we balance each other out. He's very good at taking my feelings into consideration, but when it comes to other people and stuff, it's not his first instinct. And so with this test, I would say it shows that we're pretty compatible because in my opinion, I think those traits help balance each other. If we were both the same, it would be a very offset relationship. And I think it's good. Do you think so?
I think it's great.
Okay, let's go on to test number 2. Okay, we found a tab that said romantic relationships with this test before we go on to the second one. And it was funny because it's like this huge paragraph, but at the end it basically stated what we said, that for my personality type, I need someone who also has one or more opposing traits that help me focus on logical decisions when appropriate and to be more open-minded, which Logan's was that. And then Logan said that he needed someone with 1 or 2 opposing traits to help them explore a world that involves other people and others' expectations. So understanding their feelings. So like we said, they just stated that we need each other.
We are puzzle pieces.
That's good. Okay, now number 2.
We're the twinners.
We're sitting here, I'm taking the test, and Logan comes out in the sweater. He's like, wait, that sweater looks familiar. And then he walks back to the room.
This isn't my sweater, I promise. This is Mikayla's sweater.
Okay, goodbye. Okay, I just did the Enneagram personality test, and I had 2 that were exactly the same. So here is my pie chart. So number 2 and number 3 were both tied for tops. So then I went over to the types, and type 3 is the achiever, and then type 2 is the giver. So
that makes a lot of sense. Oh my goodness, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, now Logan's gonna take his and then we'll talk about it. Logan, it appears, is
7 and 8.
7.
Or maybe 5.
And 5. 5 is the second, but it still looks like 7 might have been a little longer.
No, 7's bigger. It's 8 and 5 that I'm deciding. Because 6 and 4 are the same. 6, 4, and 9 are the same, it looks like to
No,
me.
it's 7 and then your second's 5. But I had 2 that were tied and you just have 1. So Logan is number 7. And number 7 is the enthusiast.
What's that mean?
Well, read about it, but don't you think you're enthusiastic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the enthusiast, she's the giver.
No, I was 2. So
Yeah, so the giver.
one of them's the giver and then one is the achiever. So I'm gonna start with the giver. So my deepest fear as the giver is I fear being alone and unloved, and cope with this fear by taking care of others and making themselves central to other people's lives. Yeah.
Strongly agree.
And then my core motivation is I want to feel loved and appreciated, which motivates them, or myself, to express love towards others in their word and actions. That's true.
Strongly agree. Good job.
I'm kind of a people pleaser. I will care so much about being liked, and in return I take my feelings of how much I want to be liked and how I want to be treated, and I do it for other people too. So I'm usually very caring towards other people and like in tune with their emotions. Like if someone's upset, like I feel it in my soul and I'm like, okay, what can I do to make them feel better? Like did I do anything? Like I'm just very concerned about other people. Okay, so then on the other side, I was also the achiever. So we'll see what those are. It says that I would fear being insignificant or a failure, and to cope with this fear, I look for ways to win in life, reassuring myself that they are valuable. I think number 2 is more resonates with me, but I think this comes into play is I want people to love me. So I think that a way to do that is by being successful and achieving things. Like getting good grades in high school. I'd get so much praise for getting good grades. So I think that's a way that I'm like trying to get that like love and attention. So I think that's interesting.
They work hand in hand. That's probably why they were tied.
And then it says that the achievers are motivated by a need for attention and admiration, which is true because I like attention. And they strive to be successful and significant to avoid feelings of worthless. I'd say pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate.
Okay.
Now what was mine?
So Logan was the enthusiast, so you can read your...
7's fear, getting stuck in a rut and missing out on the good life. They cope with this fear by constantly seeking out exciting, novel, and fun experiences.
That's true.
Core motivations, more than anything, 7s want to avoid feeling bored, sad, and uninspired.
I think you don't like being sad. You're like never sad,
never
and you
sad.
just want to go and have
Want
fun.
to party, do what I want to do every day.
Yeah, I say that's pretty accurate. Logan had some other like close ones.
Not as close as Mikayla's.
Not mine were both tied, so we're just gonna read that one. Okay, with the Enneagram test, there wasn't anything specifically on compatibility in relationships, so I just googled compatibility with type 2, the helper, and then type 7, the enthusiast, and we're just gonna read it. In many ways, both of these types can look alike. Both 2s and 7s can be outgoing, friendly, funny, high energy people and very enjoyable company. They want others to be happy and have a good time, and both types tend to interpret things in a positive way, always looking for a silver lining or a blessing in a seeming disaster. Both types are engaging, spontaneous, and love good things in life. So I'm just gonna skip down to the bottom because there's like a huge paragraph, so we're not gonna read all of it. But it says, okay, so these two Enneagrams, it says, together they can be remarkably generous and thoughtful as a couple. The 2 and 7 combination can have a positive effect on people that is virtually unmatched by any other couple. They can be warm, welcoming, and generous and make others feel loved and invited to the party.
Oh,
Aww.
she makes them feel invited, and I'm the party.
Basically. I think we're not gonna do the color test because I looked up and there's like so many different ones and I don't know. But our last one is gonna be the love language quiz.
Ooh.
So before we do that, I wanna make predictions on what our answers are gonna be. We've taken the test before.
Hers is probably still quality time and acts of service. That's what I think for her. What do you think for you?
I think mine is quality time and acts of service. The first time I took one, it was quality time the most and acts of service second, and then the next time I took it, it was acts of service and then quality time. And that was like after getting married, so maybe I like appreciated more like stuff around the house, but they were always super close, so we'll see. And Logan's, I think he always says it's physical touch, but I actually also think it's words of affirmation.
It's probably more words of affirmation, honestly, because the reason why I say touch is because I like getting my back scratched. It's more of like how I feel it.
Okay, so here are my results. My first one is quality time, then acts of service, then physical touch, then words of affirmation, and then receiving gifts. As you can tell, words of affirmation and receiving gifts are very, very low. Here is Logan's. Like we predicted, it's physical touch and then words of affirmation. Lately I've been noticing words of affirmation, so I just called it. And then it's quality time, acts of service, and then receiving gifts. Logan loves gifts, but I think he knows that
I just like getting gifts for myself. I can buy myself whatever I want and then I'm happy. She doesn't have to get me anything.
Okay, so with that one, obviously we did not get the same ones at all. And so like, I guess they kind of like overall, like physical touch was my third and it's his first, and quality time was his third and it's mine first. So it kind of works, but I think that's just something you have to learn how to
manage.
Yeah, how to make sure you're showing people that way and just understanding it. I feel like anyone can have different love languages as long as they just figure out how to make it work and how to make sure they're making an effort to show each other. So we weren't necessarily 100% compatible, like we didn't have the same ones, but we're totally willing to do it. Overall, I would say we ended up getting pretty good results and things saying that we're pretty compatible and can do really good things together.
Puzzle pieces.
Yeah. As you can see in the first one, it was very much like opposites attract and all that stuff. And then a lot of it is talking about how Logan is very like happy-go-lucky and life of the party kind of, but he also is very much like thinking about himself. And so having someone like me coming in, Logan has all these like relaxing and go with the flow and spontaneous things that I need, and I have a lot more of what people need to, I just feel emotions more, and I feel I can help Logan understand how to connect with other people. So that's what basically both the two personality tests say. And then obviously love language, we talked about it. Anyone can work with anything as long as you're willing to make an effort to do it. And I think we do a pretty good job.
Thank you guys for joining us once again. We had a really fun time and we hope you guys did. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you guys check us out on Instagram and TikTok. Those will be down in the description below. And we will see you guys next time. Bye!